Hello, N4HNH here. I want to show you something that I do with Ham Radio Deluxe. Now, you may use another logging program and perhaps it will allow you to do something similar. And let me confess to you that I'm using the last version. If I'm going to go to the About screen here, I'm using the last version of Ham Radio Deluxe that was available for free. You just poke around on Google and you find it. Looks like it was 2012's version. It's version 5.24.0.38. They're calling it a release, which is not uncommon in the software world. So there you see it popping up on the flash screen there. Now what I've done with this Ham Radio Deluxe, in fact, let me show you here. On this big monitor up here on the wall, I have Ham Radio Deluxe set to minimum well, you know what I mean. There's maximize and then there's minimize. I've got it set minimize so that I can adjust. Well, not this minimize, that takes it all the way down, okay? But the this button here, see, it toggles between full screen, or you put your mouse on this. Now it's got the two little screens, and it's called restore down. You know, you guys know how to do that with Windows. So I just resized it because everything that I wanted to see still fits that way. And now I've got a browser window open over here, so I've got QRZ database up. You know, I can have my logbook available to me there. Now I'm logging with QRZ, and then I export to I'm logging with HRD, and then at the end of the day I will do a export as an ADIF, and then here on the settings tab, you know, you can click and import into QRZ. That way people that I've worked can get confirmation of our QSO. So I do use QRZ, but I just update it at the end of an operating session, if you will. So then also, since I chase summits on the air stations, you know, typically QRP, not always, but a lot of QRP stations that climb to summits and practice, if you will, call it off-the-grid communications. And I participate in that myself, but also as one of the climbers. But also I do the chasing of the stations that happen to be on a mountain, and this is a list of those who are up on a mountain right now. So it's similar to watching the DX cluster and, you know, working those rare DX stations and such. But this SOTA, you get points. Both the person up on the mountain gets points, as does myself when I chase one of these guys. But that's the subject of another video. I just wanted you to know why I set my screen up that way. Now I have another monitor over here on the right. I'm gonna move the camera so you can see. On the right hand side, my other monitor displays the other portion of Ham Radio Deluxe, which has my logbook. In the top portion there, you'll see with the green and white. The bottom left portion there has yellow and white. That's the DX cluster, which is live update. Then you'll see the clock, UTC clock, as well as a gray line map. And over on the far right, that area there is just another view of the DX cluster, really. And if you move your VFO up and down, you see that little M moving up and down. That just shows what portion of the band I've got my radio set to. It does have little frequency hash marks here. And so now the interesting thing is, if you do connect your radio with HRD like I did, as a cable going from the CAT port of my FTDX 5000 to the computer, then you can even control the radio from Ham Radio Deluxe, frequency mode, volume, power out, all kind of stuff. And the other interesting thing is you can click on one of those stations either in the list on the right or down in the DX cluster, and it will automatically tune the rig to that station. So I'm going to show you that. Yes, I am in the dark, but you can see the radio. There's a station down here from Finland. Okay, he's on 7.007. I'm going to right click over here on him in the DX cluster window. I'll pan over there and let you see that. So I'm right clicking on his call sign, his entry here, and then I select new ALE window, and look at the radio. It now tuned to the frequency he's on, 7.07. 7.070. Okay, also, now I'm going to go back up to the top screen and show you that Ham Radio Deluxe also opened, let me get this stable up again there, also opened a log window for me to log that contact. So I'm going to cancel that out a minute and do it one more time and let you see what happens on that monitor. So again, you already know that the radio tuned to that frequency automatically. Well, Ham Radio Deluxe sent the signal to the radio to tune to that frequency. So again, let me see, I'll find the Finland station over here. Doesn't really matter, I just want you to see what it'll do. So if I'm chasing DX and I'm watching the DX cluster and I see one come up that I want to work, then I will find him in here, and there he is, there's Finland. And I'm right clicking on the Finland station, I'm clicking new ALE window, and boom, you see it pops up. So it's already populated with his call sign. Now let me get to the meat of what I wanted to show you that I do with my HRD. So if you happen to use Ham Radio Deluxe and you haven't done anything like this, maybe you'll find this helpful. If you use a different logging program, perhaps it has the same option for you, maybe done a different way, okay? So what I like about this is it automatically is up in the right hand corner. It's already tracking the frequency, the band, and the mode, and it loaded those for me. If you don't want it to track, you know, you just uncheck the boxes. So that's really cool. And it's got his call sign in there, and it went ahead and put the time in that I happened to click to log him. And so now, a friend of mine on 2 meters over there, sorry, he's a cool guy. So here's what I wanted to show you that I do. You see these buttons right here, profile, and this whole section down here. When you start logging somebody, you can go down here and click on worked. I can see if I've ever worked him. I have not, but I have worked his country one time on 40 meters. I have worked his continent multiple times on these bands. So location, there I can see his address and my station. That's what I usually keep it on. And I should mention, by the way, if you just type somebody's call sign in, let me just do that. I'll put in my friend Joel. KC4WZB. Whoops, I missed the C. Let me get the C in there. C4. It's automatically, by the way, making my keyboard type in caps lock when I key in this field. Now, let's say I put in somebody's call sign and I want to see what their name is, so I can go back and say, "Hey, Ron," or in this case, Joel. I'll hit QRZ, and then it'll go out to QRZ and pull in his information. It'll pull in his location too. All right, so that part, really easy. So far, get this. All I have to do is let HRD track the frequency, the band, and the mode, so I don't have to think about that. I either type their call sign in or I click them from the DX cluster. If I do type the call sign in, I hit QRZ and it'll pull in their name for me. In fact, it'll pull in their name. I can click on the work tab. I can click on all these down here and find out, have I worked this station before? Now, here's what I wanted you to see. Under my station, it automatically loads my information, and it gets that from something I'm about to show you. And then also what I can do is, over here you see these numbers. Let's say I'm running 100 watts. See right here the power field, and also notice this, equipment, Yaesu FTDX 5000 MP Limited, Elecraft KPA 1500. Well, if I'm running 100 watts, I'm not using the Elecraft KPA 1500. So check this out. I'll just hit 1 for 100, it puts 100 in the 100 watts in the power field, and it removes the Elecraft from my equipment listing there. Now, the FTDX 5000 can do 200 watts. So let's say I'm going to run 200 watts. I click 2. Now, again, it does not need the KPA 1500 to be listed there, but it changes the power to 200. So when I'm working, just think about this. When I'm working a station, all I have to do is key in their call sign. And if I'm curious, I don't have to do this, but if I'm curious, I can hit QRZ button and load their name and other pertinent information. And then I just click whichever button I want to log the power. So if you're not even worried about looking them up in QRZ, just type in their call sign. It automatically tags the time, by the way. And if you, let's say you open this window, but it was a couple of minutes before you worked the station, while you're in that call sign field, you can press the, I'm going to reach down here to my keyboard and press the F2 key, and you see the time on changed, the start time changed. It'll just keep updating every time you press F2. And when you finish your QSO, press F3, and it will log your time off, your ending time for your QSO. Okay, so if the window pops up and I'm ready to log the guy right now, all I got to do is type in the call sign and then come down here and click whichever button applies to my power level. So let's say I'm running 500 watts. I click the 5. This changes to 500 watts. And now the equipment field adds Elecraft KPA 1500. So now how do you set it up to do all that? That's what I want to show you. I'm going to cancel out of here. And if you go up here in the top area of the menu, you will see, let's see, I haven't been up here in a while, so let me make sure I get the right one. Thought it was under Tools. My station, where are you? Okay, so I should have practiced this before I started my video, but one of these in here is going to say my station, and actually, here it is. It's on the other screen. That's kind of strange, but no, okay, but it's associated with logging, so that's right, that's why. There it is right there. So my station, you click on that now. I've got it set to pop back up over here on this screen. So here we go. Sorry for that. I haven't done it in a while. I set it up so long ago and I just click the numbers anymore. So you have 10 slots here for the My Station. And so I did a lot of copy and paste, put my name, owner, operator, all my pertinent information. And this first tab is going to represent the 1 button when I'm logging. So I've got in here 100 watts and just my radio. Second tab is for 200 watts and it's just got my radio and 200 watts. Everything else I just copied and pasted. The third tab's for 300 watts and it adds the Elecraft KPA 1500. And you can see as I keep doing them, 400 watts, 500 watts, 600 watts, 700 watts, 800 watts. 900 watts and 1000. There is not an 11th slot. So if I were to run 1200 watts, and I would just pick 1000 and type in the 2 when I was logging, replace that 0 with a 2 when I'm logging. So you literally just enter all that in. There's no save button. Just type it all in or copy paste and just change the watts and what your equipment configuration is and hit that green, red X in the top right. And that loads it. So now when I'm going to make a QSO, if I want to log a QSO, I'm not going to move to the screen, but over here on the right in the logbook, I'm going to click Add. And all I got to do is type the contact's call sign, KC4WZB, my buddy Joel. And again, it's an option if I want to click QRZ and pull his name in. But, you know, that's kind of helpful. Let's say you're working with somebody you know you've worked before, you can't quite remember their name, but you'd like to impress them that you do remember their name. Click the QRZ button. You can say, hey, Joel, it's good to hear from you. You see how that works. And then I just come down here and let's say that I'm going to use 900 watts to operate here. So I click the 9, it loads 900 watts, and automatically there it says the Elecraft KPA 1500 is added to my equipment list. And you can add antennas and all that in there too, but I've just got a list of all my antennas listed right there. So I hope that you found this video helpful and informative. As usual, I like to try to give you some tips and tricks that might help you in your shack. And you know, I poking around in Ham Radio Deluxe, which, by the way, I give credit where credit's due. I was using a just straight QRZ for a long time, and my friend Joel told me about HRD, and he's been using it for quite some time, and he said it, you know, it'll spoil you. So that's what prompted me to do this, and it really is nice. I do, like I said, I do like to keep a log, but isn't it nice if when you keep a log, you can do it quickly. So you saw all I've got to do is technically just key in their call sign and click a button for what power level / equipment I was using when I made that contact. Now, it's completely optional if you want to type something into the comment, but you could say, you know, nice guy, he was running an ICOM 7300 and a G5RV. You know, next time you talk to him, you can say, hey, you still got the 7300? You see how that works. A friend of mine calls that the people's radio because there's so many of them, have been so many of them sold. So again, thanks for watching. Thanks for visiting my channel. If you like my channel, please subscribe, click the bell, you know the drill, so you'll know when I upload another video. And for those of you who want to help keep the channel alive, you can contribute through Patreon to help me out, and I've already uploaded some, but I will be uploading more exclusive content for Patreon supporters, and you can support me by going to www.patreon.com/ that's a / N4HNH, my call sign. So www.patreon patreon.com / N4HNH. And so again, thank you very much. And 73 from N4HNH.